I think he's going to go down as the greatest quarterback of all time. Once he retires, he's going to be the guy that everyone talks about.
Well, I don't think everybody's gonna stop talking about Joe Montana and like
Yeah,
Tom
but then,
Brady. I mean, they're all gonna be talked about.
yeah,
Yeah, but
but
I agree with what Tanner says. That I think
Yeah.
that he'll be the one that they say is the
Like,
greatest.
but they'll stop talking about like guys like Ken Stabler and chumps like that shouldn't even be on like lists of like top 50 quarterbacks of all time that for some reason are like in top 10 on some people's list.
Like Joe Namath.
Yeah, like Joe, he was a
and
he was a
also,
mediocre quarterback, dude.
and
Yeah.
also, look at this. Tom Brady has turned players like Pierre Garcon, Austin Collie, and the Blair guy
You just said Tom
into.
Brady.
I meant what?
Yeah, you said Tom Brady did.
Oh my bad, Peyton Manning.
He
He's
had
turned
yeah,
that.
he has turned these like no name guys into good receivers, but like what's ridiculous is Tom Brady's done it too. But he's won championships with no name guys. Peyton Manning won championships with Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne.
But you got to think.
They
Hey,
weren't no name guys.
let me ask you this: do you think if Peyton Manning was their quarterback, they would have been as good as they were?
Wait, what are you talking about back then?
Like Reggie Wayne and Marvin Harrison, yes.
If Tom Brady was a quarterback, yeah.
No, he's just asking if Peyton wasn't the quarterback. If it was anybody, I mean, if you just insert
That's
a guy
taking the
here.
quarterback off almost every single
What
Super
I'm
Bowl team in
saying
the
is,
past decade. Are they going to still be as successful?
I think Peyton Manning
Well,
makes
Brad
Chase.
Johnson.
Well, yeah, Brad Johnson. I'm saying there are exceptions, like the Ravens when they won it, and
Trent
the Tampa
Dilfer.
Bay Buccaneers. They were both defensive teams, like
Yeah.
the top 10 defenses. So
Anyways, what I'm trying to say is Peyton Manning could make Chase look like an all-star
look,
receiver.
all five of our guys, everybody on our list can make mediocre receivers look good.
He just has that quality.
They all have that quality. Like you can't make your whole argument off of like he can make bad receivers look good.
That's not my whole argument. Like I said, he's the coach on the field. He's
That's like the definition of a quarterback.
oh my god.
I agree with Peyton Manning being number one.
I mean, yeah, like I said, like we're like no matter who you say, Tom Brady or Peyton Manning, it's gonna be right.
I mean, they're always going to be top two in the argument.
Yeah, I think Tom Brady and Peyton Manning are the two best quarterbacks of all time.
Yeah.
And my honorary number one is Tim Tebow because I love him.
Jimmy Clausen, man. What are you
Jimmy
talking
Clausen number one.
about? Yeah, where
Brady Quinn.
Brady Quinn, the
Jimmy
greatest.
Clausen over Brady Quinn any day of the week and twice on Sundays.
Really?
I'm just kidding. I'm just saying. I'm
I was
just
like,
being dumb.
you want to get into a Notre Dame quarterback conversation? Because I'll do it.
All
I'll
right,
do
hold
it.
on.
Man.
You know what's crazy? We're talking about the top five quarterbacks in the NBA to NBA,
Yeah,
NFL
yeah.
today. Two of the guys were written off at one point in their career. Tom Brady drafted in the 6th round, and
Yeah.
Drew Brees were traded by the Chargers
Chargers.
because they thought he was washed up
Yep. Because he had surgery on his shoulder.
because he tore his, what was it? Didn't he tear his rotator's cuff?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like that's exactly what he did.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Like
He also tore his ACL in the All-Star game in the Pro Bowl, didn't he?
I don't
Brees
remember
did-
that.
Yeah, I remember Drew
Hey.
Brees did that.
Did he?
Yes, but he was
What?
on the Saints at that
would
point.
suck.
That would suck.
Um. Okay. Well, so yeah. I mean, all of our lists are good lists. I mean, I think that you look at the landscape of the NFL right now, and it's I mean, there's those two guys that you know will always be. I mean, not always, but I mean, you can always say is number one and two, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning. But then Drew Brees, the last few years, has made his case like, hey, Drew Brees is just as good.
Yeah, that's a good point because we may not ever be able to say that because he's played on such stinky teams. But we'll see. I mean, if he wins another championship, then he'll be right there with him.
Yeah, I agree. And it looks like he's not even. It looks like he's not even slowing down.
No, he's not.
Breeze is.
You know, it's in the NFL right now. It's weird. We're seeing like quarterbacks that have dominated the past decade or so. They're just beginning the downhill side of their career, and you've got all these young quarterbacks who are just beginning the uphill side of their career. So like you've got guys who are just past their potential and guys who are heading towards their potential. So it's almost like the changing of the guard is just beginning in the NFL right now.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Breeze since 2006. He's never had less than 4,000 yards. Like
That's ridiculous.
I know. I mean, he for between 2000 when he was in San Diego, he put up 3,000 yards a year minus his
Well,
first year.
remember he had LaDainian Tomlinson.
Yeah, he did.
Like he's never had a running back that could even put up 1,000 yards in a year.
And
That's true.
who are his receivers? I mean,
Nobody. Well, he had Vincent Jackson and Antonio Gates.
and Vincent
But
Jackson wasn't even that great back then.
No, he wasn't. It was mainly Antonio Gates.
yeah, you look at that 2008 year when New Orleans went 8-8, and
He was like 100 yards away from like Drew Brees' record, wasn't he?
from Dan Marino's
Oh,
record.
did I say
Yes.
Drew Brees?
Yeah, he did. Actually, no, he was like actually 10 yards away. I think it was because I remember I was
Yeah,
watching.
yeah, it is. It is close to that. I have seen that. You're right.
He was like 10 or 11 yards away from that record because he threw for 5,069 yards that year.
That is ridiculous.
I know. I mean, and they went 8-8. I remember it was like I remember there was that one game where they had the chance to like break the franchise record for most points in a game.
And they
And like had they kicked the field goal on that last possession, I mean had they kicked the extra point, they would have got the record. But they decided to go for two, and the guy, one of the announcers, I don't remember which one it was, but he was like, "What are they trying to score BCS points here?" I was like, "No, that was good." But yeah, I mean, he took a team that was 8-8, and then the next year they were championship a championship team.
That's true. Hey, but while on the top of quarterbacks, who do you guys think is the next great, like, of the young quarterbacks that are in the league right now? Who do you think will be
Matt
in our
Ryan.
top one and two?
In the coming years. Whoa, Tanner, explain why you think Matt Ryan. Why I think.
Just because of what he's put up now. I mean, obviously he's going to have success as an individual.
It's not about Matt Ryan's numbers. He's Matty Ice, dude. He's got cold blood when it comes to like pressure situations.
So are you
Cold-blooded
talking
killer.
about he's going to have success all around?
Yeah, who's going to be the next Tom Brady, the next Peyton Manning when it comes to being the top on our lists?
I got to think, man.
I think it's going to be Matt Ryan, Josh Freeman,
I totally agree with that.
He's a candidate.
and if Matt Stafford could stay healthy, I'd say he'd be up there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I-
Matt Stafford, if he could stay healthy, like, okay, you just
If
said
Matt Stafford stays healthy, they're a playoff team.
they are definitely. No doubt about Calvin Johnson there.
Like you look at last year, look, they have a whole new mentality. The whole franchise has changed their whole entire mentality. You look at guys, who is it? Drew Stanton going out there and like throwing 300 yards and stuff just because he has confidence in himself. The coaches have confidence in him. They had like 4 different quarterbacks last year, and whoever they put behind center, he did well. It was
Yeah, and look at the defensive line this year.
Nick Fairley and Ndamukong Suh.
Right next to each other, man. That gets me so excited. I'm not even gonna
I
lie.
know.
I'm not a Lions fan, but that's just like, holy crap! Who's gonna be able to run
The
on?
Lions, I mean, they're like the LA Clippers of the NFL. Like they're not there yet, but they're a scary team. They're a scary young team.
Hmm.
That's really
But-
good, Joseph.
What'd you say?
And this is going to be the difference between the Lions the Lions season this year. They probably went into every season like not confident or like iffy about stuff. I think this year they're going to be pumped.
Look, and this is the perfect year for them to win their division. Look, the Vikings lost Brett Favre. They're going to be a down year. The Bears, they're never
They're-
going to
they're
they're
in a
never
down
going to be
year
that
last
good. You what?
So they were in a down year last year.
That's true.
Bears will be the Bears.
Yeah, the Bears are going to be Bears because they got Jeff George at quarterback. Jay Cutler, i.e. Jay Cutler.
Whoa. Oh, okay. I was
Dude,
like,
there was an ESPN article about comparing Jeff George and Jay Cutler, and like they had this weird table, and the comparison was freaky. How close of like people they are, like where they were
Wow.
born as close together, where they were drafted, and it was really weird.
that is weird. But back to our conversation about the quarterbacks, I would agree with Matt Ryan. But I remember, I mean, when you said Josh Freeman, that just like, I said that year, I was like, Josh Freeman is going to surprise a lot of people.
Dude, and imagine that, and he's from Kansas State.
He's from Kansas State, and every time you mention Kansas State, I immediately think of Josh Freeman. Like that's the first thing I think of. Because I mean, I looked at Josh Freeman. I told my brothers and everything when that draft was going on. I was like, I love Josh Freeman because I love it. I mean, he's a big quarterback, but he can move, and he's just like,
Dude, that guy, he made so many plays in the clutch last year.
yeah,
Nobody
he
had to
did.
make more plays in late game situations than he did last year, and he did it every single time.
And he's a scary looking guy to go along with it. He's an intimidating looking quarterback because he's huge.
If you watch the top 100, whenever Josh Freeman was up there, I think he was like I think he was in the 80s. Like it was